Lu, yeah, damn unpatriotic. How dare you promote Malaysian businesses, tell Singaporeans to spend in Malaysia, right? Damn you, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just got quite a lot of negative comments from my previous video, and I think I should put this debate up for everybody to make your comments, and let's see what this debate is, shall we? So to start off, I need to say that this topic is a very controversial topic because it didn't just slap my face, it also slapped a lot of people's face who have been big shoppers in Malaysia as well. And I really want to bring this up because it hits the heart of what we define, as financial wisdom versus patriotism. So all the while, I've been sharing a lot of money saving tips for everybody in advising people that in JB, you actually can get pretty good deals from very affordable houses and very affordable renovation, which is in essence what I shared in the previous video. I also share with everybody you can get very nice, yummy food, and so on, right? Uh, Now, it started off with this video, and please watch this video yesterday. That sparked off a very interesting debate on patriotism. So that video started off with what I thought was a advice to help people to save money. It sparked off to quite a lot of interesting comments. So Stephen Yip says that Mr. Lu, I heard you have a first class honors in economics. If no spending in Singapore means everybody spend money elsewhere, you think there's no impact to Singapore, no impact to future generation of Singapore? Ask not what Singapore can do for you, ask what you can do for Singapore. Very interesting comment. This is they tweaked the comment of JF Kennedy, right? Ask not what the country can do for you, but what you can do for country, right? But this is a valid comment, okay? And then of course, another person wrote, support Singapore, buy Singapore, invest in Singapore more often. Don't make Singapore money and spend in overseas property or condemn Singapore shares and invest in overseas shares. That's of course a slap in my face. Sure, attract a lot of criticism, right? Only buy from local supermarkets, Sheng Siong, and NTUC. So we are born in Singapore, you must support Singapore, okay? And of course, there is a person who said that you happily stay in this tier 3 city with a lot of kampong, abeng, and alien. Wow, this one really slapped all the Malaysians in Johor Bahru, right? First of all, it's a tier 3 city, and there is a lot of kampong, abeng, and alien, right? I think that's a very tough slap on the people in JB, which I thought is a bit overboard. So at the heart of it, I need to pull out this slide and ask everybody, which is more patriotic? You support local businesses and tell everybody don't shop in other country, okay? Don't shop from other country. Just shop in Singapore, pay higher prices in Singapore, and support local businesses. Is this patriotic? Yeah, arguably yes. Arguably yes. Or what about this, right? I teach a lot of people financial literacy, share with everybody how you stretch your dollar so that you got more retirement money. You can have more money to pursue some other aspiration. So don't live so stressful, and basically more self-sufficient, right? So is this unpatriotism? No, I don't think so. No, this is a very important thing. We need to educate everybody, right? So between the two, right, which is more patriotic or which is more unpatriotic? So let's watch on, shall we? So clearly, a lot of people felt that, teaching people how to save money by spending money outside, it's not so important. The more important thing is to tell people you must spend only in Singapore, okay, and support the local business. That will define you as patriotic. So how many comments are there? Many, right? So Yo-Yo Lexi said we should support local business. If all Singaporeans spend money in JB on essential and services, how are the local businesses going to survive? There'll be domino effect. And this further go on and say, if the local business can't survive, we'll eventually lose our job. Okay. And of course, you also say the same thing, Hong Kong has China's backing and China will not see it fail. Singapore is different. We have no natural resources, no backing. If we don't help one another, we will all go down together. Okay. Another person say that, Mr. Lu, you're doing our local business a big disservice. I think our channel has lost its focus. Okay, I was wondering since when is my channel about supporting local businesses? My channel has always been on teaching everybody about financial literacy, right? I've never been talking about supporting local businesses, about supporting Singaporeans to do well financially. And of course, he said, yes, we must support our local businesses. Our livelihood at stake. Singapore, Lu is doing them a great disservice, right? That's very, very interesting to see. There's a lot of comments on this. Well, some people actually see where I'm coming from, right? They think that supporting local businesses need to be carefully considered. It's not a blanket support. So Jeremy replied to this Yo-Yo Lexi say, yeah, okay, you missed the point, right? You earn Singapore dollar doesn't mean you have to die support clinics like Q&M who charges exorbitantly cost they have got shareholders to account for. You by all means go and support the Singapore clinics. We're not stopping you, okay? And I think the other one is we built this nation on the idea that no one owes us a living. And if it means going to JB for non-perishable and key items of economic interest, I won't fault anybody who does the same thing. Well, it's quite balanced in his view. I also understand the need to build our own native industry and the value of caring for our own people, protecting our national interests. So he said, show to me that you are solving real problems and offering good value at home, and I'm willing to support you. But you're expecting me as a consumer just to support you because you are local. I must be kidding myself, right? Right. So I think that's a frank truth. Yeah. Right. So I don't even think the government is. I don't even think the government is doing that. Okay. The government's interest is not to support local business first. The government interest is to support the local Singaporean first. Okay. And now, if really the government interest is to support local businesses at the expense of local consumer, they should not build the RTS link, because once they build it, a whole tsunami of people will go over there, right? But the government built it, right, because it promotes a lot of efficiency beside both countries. To me, support local means built in Singapore, made in Singapore. These I support. Okay, maybe not for food, but a few support local business import from China, then the slogan support local doesn't sit well with me. Very interesting, right? At least this person realized that, what do you mean by support local? So support local means this local business import all his things and sell to you. So and make a margin of this thing. Therefore, you must support from him. Or, this person must produce everything in Singapore, then you support him, so and so on, right? So actually, if you are supporting someone that actually import everything from overseas, what's the difference from that to someone who is buying from overseas? What's the difference, right? What do you mean by local businesses? So this is another interesting comment. I also want to support local business. When I drove past this goat farm, which I think it's only one goat farm in Lim Chu Kang, and see the owner drive Ferrari, I'm not sure if the local businesses are supporting me in return, right? So simple retail services with little value addedness don't have a future in Singapore. So be it. Business here, I must either provide much better value proposition for folks to pay a premium in Singapore, or quit and pivot to something else. Okay. Hopefully, rent will fall with less retail demand. No, I think you are getting it right. There's some level of absurdness of supporting local business at your expense. Some things that is not realistic to protect a local business from all sorts of competition. What some of these people are trying to tell us to do is to provide protectionism for our local businesses at the expense of local consumer. It has to be, right? There is no such thing as protect local business, okay? And yet, not severely affect the local consumer. So if I ask you, right, you can buy something that costs $3 from overseas versus you can buy something that costs $5 from Singapore. Which one will you do, right? So what these people are telling us that buy the $5 one because for local. Okay. So I think that the senses are coming through. I see many comments saying that we should support local business instead of buying goods from overseas. I disagree with this. Economics will play out itself eventually when the price differential are significant. Okay. This is the reality of competition, right? We should not protect our local businesses, but let them fight competition so that they all improve their productivity and improve themselves, right? So if you were to put up protectionistic measures against foreign competition, Eventually, over time, you'll die anyway. Not to forget, your competition is not just from Malaysia. Everybody just think of Malaysia because Mr. Lu talked about Malaysia, right? Well, this person says this very well. My personal opinion is really spend where you want if you're comfortable. Malaysia's shopping is indeed enticing. Say Uniqlo is 20 to 30% cheaper for the same item versus Singapore. Okay. Not everybody like the hassle of going to Malaysia and pay more to buy local. A lot of people just simply shop online. Okay. And nowadays, a lot of people just simply buy online from Taobao, AliExpress. I'll further develop this to say they buy from Shopee, Lazada, TikTok, where it's much cheaper. Who do you think these sellers are? Even if these sellers on this platform are from Singapore, which a lot of them are not, okay, they will buy their goods from overseas and make a difference from you. So, Tao Salabo, these guys who tell me to support local businesses. So instead of artificially, supporting these local businesses, the idea is to encourage local businesses to innovate and improve, if not pivot to other form of business. If the local businesses cannot compete, it's better for them to switch to doing something else. Yeah. Please ask them to wake up. What kind of world are we living in? Commerce is now global. With online e-commerce become so prevalent. And I think this is where, instead of being accused as unpatriotic because you didn't spend local, why don't you become more patriotic to teach people how to make use of available resources out there to improve your self-sufficiency? I think that's so important. In short, financial literacy, not just in how to invest and make money, and also where you spend your money. Fortunately, there's a lot of people who actually support Mr. Lu, and I really appreciate that. Someone wrote here, you're helping many Singaporeans gain faith in the CPF system, people benefiting from our retirement savings, okay? And it's no coincidence this group grew the most in the past 2 years, almost the same time as CPF savings rocketed, right? I'm sure many of the CPF board circles would know of 1865. No, I think 1865, certainly with all your support, has gone mainstream. I don't get collect any fees from anyone for doing this, but I think what I want to do is to promote financial literacy, how to save, how to invest well, where to deploy money, and also where to spend your money and stretch your dollar. And in fact, with this, I would dare say I'm probably more patriotic than those people who just sit behind the desk and just make a frivolous comment and saying that, Mr. Lu, you unsupportive ass, yeah, go and teach people how to spend money in Malaysia. You should be spending money in Singapore and nowhere else. Well, I appreciate people actually say this kind of comment. There's nothing wrong with spending your money which you think get the most value of your buck. Okay, I appreciate that. And said, Mr. Lu, please share more of these cost savings related resources. Right. So by sharing you all this, you can really save a lot of money just by telling you where to buy the towels, the taps. Okay. And where to do your dental treatment and things like that. Do you know you can potentially save thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars? For those people who are willing to spend that in Singapore, just because you're patriotic and want to support local business, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. At the end of it, I hope that through all this sharing, I want to help people to know where to spend their money so that your life gets stretched to a higher quality, okay? And you can save more for your retirement and provide more for your family. Jeremy said that, Mr. Lu, you solidified my consideration to retire in JB next time, right? Certainly many things are cheaper across the border, like medical healthcare, education, private car transport, renovation, food and dining. And many Singaporeans living in Singapore has an average quality of life, but across the border, they will enjoy a higher quality of retirement life. And I hope that people who realize that you really can stretch your dollar by being wiser with where you spend your money. I'll just say this: we do face a problem with higher cost of living. Even the government acknowledges that. Everyone feels that way. Instead of just sitting here and just complaining it's the fault of the government, it's fault of your bosses, fault of everybody. Why don't we figure out solutions, for ourselves and for everybody? So this is my solution, and if it's unpatriotic to help other people figure out where to spend your money, so be it, right? So be it. I need to say this: I'm not against local businesses. I run three businesses, okay? So I cannot be against local business because that will be slapping my own face. But I think it's important for local businesses to provide value so that when people spend money on you, they know there is money well spent. And if you can find the same item, that at a better price, I think you should do that by spending overseas. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So to conclude, which is more unpatriotic? By telling everybody, okay, to stop spending money in JB or overseas and pay higher prices in Singapore to support local businesses, is this patriotism? Or to tell everybody that, this is what financial wisdom is, right? To save money in the right way, okay, by spending in places where your dollar can be stretched so you can better retirement and better cost of living. So which one is more patriotic or which one is more unpatriotic? Please give me your comments. I'm happy to hear it. And remember, give a like and subscribe. I recognize that this is a very controversial topic. Probably, to many people, there's no right or wrong in this, but to me, I know where my priorities are, and I certainly want to hear your view as well. Please give your comments in the YouTube channel or in my Telegram channel at Lu1M65. I'm happy to hear what you have to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a day or two. Bye bye.